Okay, hey, yeah, we're here. Hi, Sharon. I think we need to throw confetti in the air because we made it through about 3 or 4 different pieces of software to be here. Yay for us, right, Sharon?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Oops, there we go. We're going to help you folks learn about the e-commerce business school. This is an open house session. So we have a lot of ground to cover. I have with me Sharon Irwin. She is very, very special to us. She was a subscriber of mine from 10, 12, 13 years, I don't know. But and then Sharon came into, switched gears and shifted into e-commerce, came through the e-commerce business school, became an incredible member of our community. And I'm like, oh, I love you so much. Come on over here. and so she works in our staff, and she is our business advisor. So as you see the information today, you will have the opportunity to access a session with Sharon to learn more if you see something that you like with one of our many, many training courses and mentorship programs. Okay, so we are going to get moving forward. So I'm Nancy, creator and founder of the e-commerce business school. And this call is to give you an overview of our e-commerce business school campus, along with your career options. And we have everything from startup courses to sourcing trips to China. And I will go into our back office in just a moment. So our goal is to provide you with results-driven training, support, and mentorship to achieve a successful e-commerce business. A little quick background about myself and the backstory of what led me to develop the e-commerce business school. It comes from my family. Probably same for all of you. It's because of your family that inspires you to do what you do. On the left is my own family, my husband Brian, with my 3 sons who have all been a part of my business. And that's my mom and dad. I just saw them about a week ago. Ages 86 and 90. My mom, she's still in book club, Sharon. So, hey there, I see we're getting some likes, which is really cool. So my parents have been lifetime educators. They were both teachers. My dad was a college professor. So here I am with my own school, making my mom and dad proud. Okay, my son's first online business was actually on eBay. My son here to the right and the middle son, who now lives in China, the two of them had a thriving eBay business when they were in junior high and high school, long, long time ago. And believe it or not, some of their old inventory of swords fill our basement walls. Then it was my eldest son and I became business partners for 12 plus years. So you can see there's kind of a strong family here. We are very, very pro-family. Like I mentioned, all 3 of my sons have worked in my business. This is Robert, who lives in China, and he wrote this training manual for the e-commerce business school. For folks who want to source from China. It's a big deal to source from China. He has lived there for 7 plus years. He is fluent in Mandarin. And this is David, and he was doing customer support for a season there. Now he's doing content expansion for us. This is a screenshot of our most recent sourcing trips to China, which was a lot of fun. And so together, my family and I, prior to e-commerce, we dominated the attraction marketing space, generating over $20 million in online sales. And then I transitioned into the e-commerce space in 2013. So that's 5 years ago. And the rapid success of our students was so impressive. We've never looked back since. Best of all, our online marketing training is as relevant as ever. So it was in, let's see, spring of 2016. That we actually rolled out our brand name of the e-commerce business school. So our mission here as a 13-year-old established training and mentorship community is to help 1,000 people make $10,000 a month through our help and team community. So that's $120,000 in income per year. And now let's just be really clear. Not everybody is shooting for the pie in the sky. We have people who are trying to pay off student loan debts. They've got a disabled husband and or daughter who are just wanting to bring in additional income. Really, there's just, the sky's the limit here. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I am now going to jump into what we call our Smug Mug account. And I just want you to be aware, and pardon me folks, Sharon is doing her best. We're kind of having this out on two separate pages, our EBS page and our EBS group. I literally can't see any comments as I'm manning kind of two monitors and a lot of software. So Sharon's keeping an eye as best she can, but you just go ahead and comment, and even if we don't see it now, we will definitely answer. And it could be I even have other support team members helping to man. So if you have questions, we love questions and feedback. Okay, so we have done, I've lost track, if it's 50 to 60 workshops over the last, it would be spanning about 10 years. We've done as many as 18 in a single year. Something we're really proud of is ASD Market Week. It's the largest consumer goods trade show in the US, and we have been featured there twice as the premier training company of choice. They gave us our own conference room to fill 500 people or so. We had it for the full length of the conference, which was a real blessing. And they have 45,000 people come through their doors through ASD Market Week. So that was a lot of fun doing that. The Ultimate Business Lifestyle is a retreat that we have every year, and it's coming up in Estes Park. And those are for members who are of our higher level mentorship group. I'm going to showcase down here. So as you can see, we have many, many different types of events. They're all categorized. So there's a lot of events showcased here. We have, for example, EMI Sacramento. Sharon was there. That's actually a full one-on-one, one-day workshop where our 7-figure Amazon sellers set up your business from A to Z. And specifically in that particular model, it's with print on demand. And we have the Amazon Launchpad that we use as part of our print on demand method. But Trifecta is coming up. So I want you all, let's see, oh, that was January. Let's go back to, we'll go to the one that we had actually in Minnesota, in Bloomington, a year ago in July, and it's coming up again. In fact, we've got an informational web class this Thursday that we're going to invite you to come in and attend and find out the power of our trifecta. Yep, you got that right. That would mean 3 separate one-day workshops. About 95% of the people make the decision to attend all 3 because we have 3 separate arbitrage courses. And then you automatically become you get upgraded into the e-commerce acceleration mentorship program by default when you sign up for the full trifecta. So there's more details on that this coming Thursday. Alrighty, so here is the progression for most of our students. So this is going to be business education. I read the comments that come in from people. We're getting about 15 to 20 new people every single day in our group. So we're really growing. And I read those questions, and we have a wide range of people coming in. People are brand new, literally never done e-commerce or literally anything online for that matter. And then we're noting quite a number of Shopify sellers as well. So this is more so for the beginner, if you will, but I think it will benefit the Shopify sellers as well, because you might have come into Shopify as your first experience in e-commerce, and you may want to get into one of our cash flow programs to augment your Shopify efforts, because that's a higher level business model and can take some time to ramp up. All right, so we call it the simple double engine cash flow and asset growth strategy. So basically 2 models that can work in tandem. We're not saying this is how you have to start. We generally recommend that people start with the side hustle and get the cash flow going, get proof of concept. This works. Hey, I'm loving this. Love Amazon. So we call that the side hustle. Then you may want to expand your business and start building a scalable asset source. Typically that would be a Shopify store, something that you can grow and build and sell for a profit. It's your own brand, your own subscriber list, your own customer list, etc. So you can do both, right? So a little more on that. So the hybrid power, the cash flow gas in the tank, is retail arbitrage. Arbitrage just means taking advantage of price differentials in the marketplace. Buy low, sell high. That's all arbitrage means. So we have 3 separate arbitrage courses. So in essence here, then you learn the basics of e-commerce with this more simple method of arbitrage. You learn business building fundamentals. Many of our people have never had a business before. You learn to develop systems. We're very big about that because yes, you can have a fully automated business here. And I do mean that. And we're going to showcase Dr. Josie Shepard in just a moment, so stick with me, folks. You can develop, for example, as part of your assets, your own stores and the hours that you go. That becomes your own asset through your time out there doing your arbitrage efforts. And then you start to understand the retail marketplace. You start to coach your brain with this understanding of retail, and you start to now see the world in a very different lens of retailing. And you start to see things that you didn't see previously. That takes time to do as you remain active and consistent. Okay, so our 3 courses are the online shopping profit system, Shop Your Way to Wealth, and the book flipping profit system. Those are our 3 arbitrage courses. By far and above, the majority of folks start with Shop Your Way to Wealth, which is local retail arbitrage. Using your phone, your smartphone, you're going to scan products at local stores, flip them for a profit on Amazon. We just had a promotion on book flipping profit system that ended Sunday evening. Brian Cummings did a demo. His wife tripped over a yard sale in 15 minutes, $250 in profitable products right then and there, that fast. And he did a little demo of that on our EBS page and group. All right, an online shopping profit system means everything is done online with the exception of you having to ship your products in, but we have a new solution for that as well. You can have your products shipped directly to a fulfillment, a shipping center who will then ship it into Amazon with your Amazon seller ID, of course, attached to your products for tracking purposes. All right, I know this is a lot of information. I get that, and I'm moving kind of quickly. There's a lot of ground to cover, and just jot down questions because I know some of you are completely brand new. So let's just keep going. So our first 2 mentorship levels help build a side hustle income. So let me make a distinction here. We provide training courses, and I believe they are highly exceptional for this reason. They are extremely detailed, and they are structured in a very linear step-by-step process. Now, I am fully aware there's a lot of different training course options out there every day. You're probably being bombarded by Facebook ads literally every day, especially once you get into e-com. The quality of training varies dramatically. I just want to put in that caveat. We have very high-level trainers who do this, and what's most important is not only that they know their stuff, but they're actually good at what they do relative to training. Someone who's really good at something does not mean they are good at training. They're 2 independent skill sets. I just want to put in that caveat. Here at the E-Commerce Business School, you have to have both, hence a certification program that we've had in place for 8 years. All right, so I'm going to share a schematic with you, and it's going to detail the mentorship levels. So while we have training courses, and there's about 18 of them, we'll show that to you in a moment, we also have mentorship levels that is layered onto the courses. And why? Why would we do that? Because I'm a firm believer, as a background, as a coach in the sports world, that group coaching and especially one-on-one coaching is a massive game changer. I say that because when I came online, one of the first things I did was get a mentor and a coach. That's what successful people do. It dramatically accelerates your success. So my first online program that I was in 2004, I became the top producer there. I had a coach and a mentor, okay? It's a differentiator, and that's why we have that structured into our platform. So here are the EBS mentorship levels. The cash flow model, like I just went through, there's 3 of them. We have the 30-day side hustle challenge. So for example, we have a new member orientation on Wednesday for all our new arbitrage members over the last week. You will learn about our 30-day side hustle, which gives you a ticket to a 1-day workshop and also includes one-on-one coaching. Then we have e-commerce acceleration, which is just mega. You get the full trifecta, you get 2 group coaching calls, and you get your personal one-on-one coaching as well, and a load of other stuff. So that's e-commerce acceleration. Everyone with me? So we have training for the cash flow, but we also have mentorship. No one is forced to do it. It's an optional. Those who value mentorship and coaching. I was a sports coach for 15 years, so this is like totally in my wheelhouse. Of course I'm going to do it because I want to get to the next level as fast as I possibly can. All right, so at the asset building model, we have the e-commerce master's program. That is our premier mentorship program. You have access to the entire course library. And then there's a load of mentorship in there. And this is the focus of assets, building assets, scale, and automation. Okay? And we're still going to get in the back office, so hang with me. And then we have the e-commerce master's intensive. And I was just sharing some of the photos there. So we were in Sacramento. Sharon was there with our 2 top trainers. And that is a done with and for you in-person e-commerce store setup. That's for the busy people who say, I can't be learning this piecemeal, just, it doesn't work. I'm putting in 10 hours of work a day. I need to accelerate this thing. The perfect solution for me is just to hunker down a full day, get everything set up to A to Z. So that is an option too for people who just want to get to the next level very, very quickly. All right, so our EMP, that's E-commerce Master's Program, advanced trainings help you build a scalable asset power source. That means, and you're all free to access this book. You can find it on Amazon. Built to Sell is just, making the effort to build something that you can sell and have as this retirement income, if you like, or you flip that for cash and then you go and build 3 new businesses or stores. We have people who do that a lot, okay? So I'm going to quickly, this is Brian Cummings. He's our Executive Director of Training and Coaching. He is a 10+ year Amazon veteran who excelled at the highly profitable book category for 5+ years. And he created the book flipping profit system. And he has built a scalable business that gives him his dream lifestyle. So this is why we have a retreat dedicated to this, because e-commerce can definitely do this for you. He created our print-on-demand training course that includes the Amazon Launchpad. And so he now also, through this wide swath of, he's done every imaginable sourcing method, sourcing from China, private label, wholesale, liquidation, you name it. And Brian trained at ASD Market Week. So there he is with his Shopify store. So he's done the whole gamut, and he is our Executive Director of Training and Coaching. So here's the beautiful thing. Seasoned, experienced business owners know that their net worth is determined by their network. I can't say enough about building a business in the context of a community of people who are on the same journey as you, who have similar goals and ambitions, rather than to be a lone ranger. It just flat out doesn't bode well in the 21st century. Everyone needs to come into a community. And so what I like to say is we want to be the place where you can hang your hat and be a part of our community and all the love and help and support that we provide our members. So this is just a quick synopsis of sharing a journey of Dr. Josie Shepard. She got certified. She introduces me to Brian Cummings, see the network developing. Brian comes and becomes a trainer with us. He rolls out book flipping profit system. And one of his students, Danita Zanre, she becomes certified and she has an entire new career path. She is the one who created the entire training in the Shop Your Way to Wealth back office. Okay, I'm going to go through a real fun story and then I'm going to get into the back office, I promise. All right. I had to brag on Dr. Josie a little bit. So she's a master trainer in our community. And she was one of my very first high-level mentorship students from 6 years ago. She came into a previous training company I had at that time, also a multi-million-dollar business. And that was all focused on building sales funnels. That's my expertise. I'm a sales funnel gal. Those of you who are doing Shopify, you're basically, you need a sales funnel to funnel in traffic and then optimize your back end, et cetera, et cetera. That's been my wheelhouse for 15 years. So Josie was at a main event I had hosted, and then the very next month she came into my high-level mentorship program that has now since evolved to become the e-commerce master's program. Listen up carefully. She got into Amazon at age 70. And in 5 years, it's stunning, right, Sharon? She has 2 fully automated Amazon businesses. Now, I'm not kidding when I say automated. I just interviewed her yesterday. That gal in the lower right is her team leader. And as I understand it, she oversees Josie's business that's run in the Philippines, and the other one is run in India. So she's got a really sharp gal. And basically, they feel like they're not doing their job for Miss Josie if Miss Josie has to come in and do any part of the business. They're like, nope, nope, we got you covered. So in fact, she is literally today leaving on a trip with her son. It's either a 1 or 2 week road trip. She is literally hands off with her business. At most, she checks in 20 minutes a day. That's a 5-year sprint, but we're not done. She also created the Prep It, Pack It, Ship It shipping center in Southern California. That too is fully automated for Josie. Her eldest son, and Michael, is the operations manager. So she built that from the ground up. It was all part of this, and this is going to happen for you too, folks. So here's a little takeaway for you. The longer you are in e-commerce as a seller, the more your eyes will be opened up for opportunity after opportunity, because Amazon has disrupted the entire retail space globally. Trust me, I've been to China. My son works in China. Amazon has disrupted every single link in the entire retail chain. Everybody has been impacted. And what this means is tens of thousands of new jobs and careers have opened up because of Amazon, because of the growth of Amazon. So Josie has a shipping center that is strictly catering to Amazon sellers. And by the way, some serious street cred. She is featured in the back office of Amazon Seller Central. And she opened this up, I think, her 2nd year of business, because she would have to tell her husband, you're going to have to park out on the street. The garage is full of product, and then so is the living room and the dining room. She started with wholesale, by the way, and crushed it. So Dr. Josie has been integral for developing a significant portion of our e-commerce business school's back office training programs and workshops. It's been very, very impressive. She's very bright, and so we have Josie to thank for doing so much to develop our community here. Little backstory, we know people come from all sorts of backgrounds, sometimes very troubled and challenging situations. She left her private practice as a psychologist to start an online work from home business and found an amazing new life through e-commerce. And now she's able to take care of her disabled son. He has no kidneys. He was on dialysis for 10 years, so often ending up at ER in the middle of the night. She couldn't run her private practice anymore. She comes into e-commerce, she crushes it. She's got 3 fully automated businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do some pretty serious things here in the e-commerce space. Okay, just a couple more things before I go into our back office. At the e-commerce master's program level, we do a customized roadmap, and this is a 33-page business training manual that Coach Kurt and Brian Cummings created, and it is all intended to be created in customizable roadmap or plan for you to follow that suits your particular lifestyle. Some people have disabled children, for example. Some want to travel around the world. So we help structure that with you. And so that is a key component of our e-commerce master's program. And then before I go into our back office, I just want to mention that we have mentorship that's available to everybody. So going on right now is our Race to Minnesota. Here's what I know to be true of people. When you are in the pursuit of achieving a goal and you link arms with other people and you start to race towards success, call it co-opetition, people they get dialed up and they start to work harder and they start to hustle harder. So every Wednesday we've got a training that's going on for, I think, a full 12 weeks. For our Race to Minnesota challenge, and there's free training in there. That's every Wednesday that we broadcast. The 10-day accountability bootcamp is complimentary with any purchase within our training suite. Any course that you purchase, you can do the accountability bootcamp. If you're at the e-commerce master's program, you have infinite access to our bootcamp. I've never seen anything create so much change and results in people because of the 10-day accountability bootcamp run by Coach Kurt. Now, if you're new and you haven't gotten into a course, you can purchase the 10-day accountability bootcamp and you get to decide the value that it has for you. We don't have a price on it. We have a suggested retail, but you just set the price and you pay that. Okay? Because here's what happens in the entrepreneurial space. People get excited, they get revved, and then they lack consistency. I've seen that for 15 years of teaching online. and working with tens of thousands of people. That's their biggest challenge, is staying consistent with their actions. So the boot camp really helps you do good goal setting and then accountability. So how are we doing, Sharon? I'm going to take a sip, and are there questions, anything popping out that I need to be aware of?
I am trying to look at the panel, but it turns on my video. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you really good. Thank you.
All right, so I'm not sure. I think it's feeding through.
Okay.
But I could be I could be looking at it incorrectly since I'm not
you know,
an expert at managing all the little panels.
I know we're doing quite a feat here, folks. Multiple software, etc. I think I see Kurt, maybe it's in here, and Lisa too. I just see it hidden behind my slide deck. Anyway, so we're going to go into the back office, and so this is when you come in the front door. And so we do have a free membership, but if you are a paid member, you're going to have either way, you'll have a username and password to log in. And make sure you check if you pay through PayPal, check through your PayPal email account, because that's where you may have gotten your login information. Sometimes people can't find it. Check your spam folder and your junk folder as well. And also make sure that when you post your password, it is left justified. People have trouble getting in sometimes, so there's just some little secret tips for you. And you can always have your password reset to what you want it by clicking here. This is a magic button. Lisa has informed me, our operations officer. We love her dearly. This is where we prefer that you ask your questions. Better than email from your inbox is to actually request, post your question here. It'll open up like this. And you just type in your question. That's the most accurate way for which we can help trace and solve your problem, whatever it may be, is if you actually do that through our support button, which is both external on the website and internal. Okay, now let's get into the back office. All right. Okay, I'm using a lot of bandwidth, so it's just going to take a minute for it to open up. There we are. Okay, you know what I think I'm going to do at this point is make this full screen. Okay, so now you won't see Sharon or myself as much. I really want you to get a handle on this. So I just mentioned the race to Minnesota. Make sure you take advantage of this. This is where you can learn more about our upcoming Trifecta Workshop series. It's absolutely phenomenal. This is high-level, hands-on business education. Guaranteed it'll make a difference in your business. Of caveat, as long as you implement, right? So this is the home page. You'll see here's the calendar with the schedule of events that you have access to. We're really big on tools that can help you better grow and build your business. So this is our end of day tracker, and that helps keep you accountable. Coach Kurt uses that in his 10-day accountability boot camp, and so does Kay Curtis in delivering our Race to Minnesota. The end of day tracker, it's pretty sweet. It's where you actually start to develop what we call the Rockefeller habits, and you're actually tracking the important metrics of your business, like the number of active listings, your sales count, your revenue, did you attend any training sessions, etc. And then you hit submit, and that actually creates this whole business journal for you. We've had people using this for 3-4 years now, and you can see it all in one blush here with the tracker history. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard. And then notice there is a left toolbar, and then there's your main home page where it kind of replicates what's over here on the left. So here are the courses. So I'm going to open that up for you, because this is the mainstay of our back office. So we make some distinctions here about the other courses that are available or mentorship levels. But see how we have it segmented? There's a lot of business logic to everything that we do here in the e-commerce business school. There's a flow, there's a purpose, there's a direction. So for example, if you're out on the web and you're kind of just grabbing courses cattywampus, and just there's not a rhyme or a reason necessarily to what you're doing. You just kind of, that pops into your feed, and before you know it, you're buying that, but there's not really a logical structure. The benefit of someone zooming out and giving you this hyper view of the entire e-commerce industry including, if you note, we have career paths. People have become coaches and trainers. I mean, this is a really zoomed out view of the entire industry that you're going to get a perspective here that is highly unlikely anywhere else. Most training programs that say, hey, here's my specialty, you know, guru so-and-so has XYZ training, right? Lots of gurus running around. But rarely can you find a really comprehensive setting, you know, ecosystem, e-commerce business school, that actually educates you on the entire overview so that you can make better, well-informed decisions for yourself. Instead of just being hit broadside and you, oh yeah, I'm going straight into Shopify, and there you go, or whatever it may be. We zoom out, we give you the whole view. Okay, so the cash flow courses, I mentioned that there are 3 separate arbitrage courses: local retail arbitrage, online shopping arbitrage, and book flipping. They are all distinctly different with, yes, of course, some commonalities. These are all leveraging Amazon, by the way. All of these include the ability to get one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and a workshop through the mentorship levels. Okay? Everybody good on that? That's a repeat of what I said earlier. Then we have our asset-based courses. So Build My E-commerce Store is a full-blown, highly extensive Shopify store training. Amazon Wholesale Sourcing Workshop. Many of our members going through the arbitrage methods, that's their natural next step. Wholesale. That's what Josie did when she came online. She didn't even know about local retail arbitrage. She just went straight into wholesale because that's the course she tripped over. And she did extremely well. Her first month, I think, was $3,000. Her very first month, wholesale. So that's her expertise, as well as private label. The print-on-demand profit system is new, with the segment in there about the Amazon Launchpad. And the reason we have that there is Amazon has the traffic. And so you can test your print-on-demand designs and using Amazon's traffic to vet and know which ones are going to convert into sales, rather than going through the arduous, well, Facebook advertising is quite a beast to learn. So we use Amazon as a staircasing towards the bigger Shopify model. And this too includes the Shopify training. It's extremely extensive. Sourcing China Home Study, we had a VIP for Sourcing China. That too, highly extensive. There's a training book my son wrote that's in there. And then the 5-step formula, how to evaluate products for the Amazon Marketplace, is to make sure, let's remove you out of guesswork and, oh, man, I just know this is going to be a hot seller. No, don't be thinking that way. I mean, you might, but you got to prove it by doing ample research. And nearly every one of these courses, yes, every single one of them was co-created with Brian Cummings and Dr. Josie Shepard. Then we have the Amazon Product List and Launch Mastermind, which is a series on helping you get greater visibility for your product when it's on Amazon. And then we have our Premier E-commerce Masters Program mentorship. And this has everything. All our courses, they're not all detailed right here, like the boot camp, for example, because that was a live workshop, the virtual assistant training boot camp. So this is by far and above the most extensive. It has every course. It has many, many levels of mentorship. I don't think time permits for me to go way deep into that. You'll be hearing more about E-commerce Masters Program. You put in peer groups. That's optional. I highly recommend it. I do video reports of everyone who submits a weekly accountability report. We have the trainers, leaders, and coaches, a special leadership development segment of that. We have daily check and adjust calls, or a small group coaching. So loads and loads of value in the E-commerce Masters Program. We also have some free training for you, which is Shopping Arbitrage. That's a skinny down version of Shop Your Way to Wealth. And E-commerce Engine is also a complimentary training to kind of wet your whistle for the e-commerce space. This is really teaching you about audiences and making sure that you have a good audience to go after for putting a e-commerce product in front of. And then we have Amazon Basics, and that is a fantastic training on how to properly set up an Amazon store. and further details in that course that was created by Danita Zanre. There's that beautiful blue button I talked about, support. So I'm going to let Sharon speak to, she is a coach here, and she helps at the EMP level with the Super Guide program that we have. That's where you get guided with your own Super Guide. But she's really our premier business advisor. And Sharon, I think back to when you were in Colorado and you had your ankle on a cart because you had broken your ankle. And you had to start with, I think I'm going to go back to just our faces now. Okay. Yeah, why don't you share what you did, and you were able to quit your job as a result of that training.
Yeah, so I got some feedback that my microphone is not doing too well.
Oh.
So can somebody let us know on Facebook if you can hear me okay? I know Ann can hear me,
Yeah.
but and then you might hear my dog too. So he's excited about the neighborhood visitors. Let's see. I don't see any comments coming in. Maybe Lisa, you can let me know.
Or yeah, if one of you guys can text me and I'll let Sharon know. Can you guys hear Sharon okay?
I tried to adjust my microphone. It says it's turned all the way up.
I hear you plenty fine.
Okay. All right. And there goes my dog. Sorry. But yeah, so absolutely. And as soon as the e-commerce master's program opened up, I was probably number one through the door because of the extensive value that was being offered. And I knew that the e-commerce space was going to be a career path for me. It was like an instant, you just know when you know, right? And of course, I had previous experience in being trained by you on building my own sales funnels for selling products and services that I loved online. So I already had that experience with your team that was incredibly powerful. So snap, e-commerce master's program, here I come. Very first event was in Colorado. Dr. Josie, Brian, they were leading the event, and it was specific for wholesale. Speaking of Josie's, where she started. So really, for everyone watching this, it's like you can start at any place that you want here in the e-commerce business school. That's what the Ultimate Business Lifestyle Roadmap that Ann was talking about is all about. It's about customizing where it is that you want to go with your new business and how you want to design it for your lifestyle. So anyway, long story short, I show up, and yes, I broke my foot just probably like a week prior to the event, maybe 2 weeks prior. And I had it all planned. And then I'm like, how am I going to do this? And so I showed up on a knee scooter, which was it was not the most ideal. And my foot was really throbbing and swollen the whole time. But I'm like, I'm doing this. And literally on the very first day of training, everyone in that room was so invested in all the other members that were there and helping them to get to the next level. I was just blown away. I got my first wholesale accounts open. I placed my first orders, and I was really new. I had just started retail arbitrage, or what we call shop your way to wealth for cash flow. But because I made that decision to jump in and show up and be supported by the experts in this community, my level of skill and expertise 10 times in one day. And then all of the resources that were given to me that were loaded onto my computer that I took back home with me just blew my mind. I literally had an entire Google Drive full of resources from a weekend workshop. And then, of course, all the friendships and everything that went along with it. So, of course, that experience made me want to come to every single event. And then also share with other people what we do here. So that's my really, really, really long story short. And yes, this can be a re-career option. This can be an additional income option. No matter what's going on in your life, your business, your career, your health. I have seen so many members in this community completely transform their lives, including my own, and be able to have options that people are looking for to really play to their strengths. And that's the other thing I love about e-commerce business school. It's like, play to your strengths. Let the other people that are surrounding you that have strengths that are opposite of yours fill in those little cracks that you might have, and you're just going to be that much more stronger. That's just how it works here.
Yeah, and you were able to get out of, you were in a job at a law firm at that time, and I believe it was from those wholesale efforts. I think it was heading into fall of that year. And
yeah, I literally was, I had surpassed, I was marking my progress, you know, the end of day tracker that we looked at. And I was saying, okay, I was reverse engineering my numbers. And I'm like, wow, I am beyond $50 an hour for all the efforts I put into my business. Why am I still working at a law firm part-time, even though it was great? I was helping a lot of people, but it's like, I could be free, right? And then there was the one shopping spree that I went on, and I was pushing almost $300 an hour. So as you expand your skill sets, these things go with you for life. So, Anne, when you said earlier, you start to look around, and more and more and more opportunities start cropping up because of what you're learning here. And then the beautiful thing is, you have to literally sit there and focus on, I can't do all of them. So which ones are my favorite? And which ones am I just going to have to leave over here? And that just doesn't happen in the regular working world. You don't get to have an entire laundry list of things that are exciting that you love, and like, oh, I got to whittle this down. So that's probably one of the hardest things, is like whittling it down to, okay, these are my top ones. This is my sweet spot. This is where I'm going to stay. Right. But having options like that, it's super important. We all know, you know, and then the fact that in this community, family is always first. I'm a big family person. Everybody on our team is big into family. Everyone that comes to our events, family centric. And we're an entrepreneurial family. We help families to grow and expand. Even my own children are more entrepreneurial now as a result of watching their mom. And so it's kind of cool, because they're not getting entrepreneurial skills in our educational system. It's never going to happen. So we have to give that to them. We are responsible. And I love that about you too, Anne. Your passion for educating children, and your own children, and all of the children that are in our community are getting education by way of their grandparents, their parents. So we are definitely leaving positive legacies everywhere we go.
Awesome. So, yeah. Thank you, Sharon. And Sharon is now our business advisor. And so I think Lisa is going to post a link, or Kurt. You just go to ecommercebusinesschool.com/Sharon. SH. I hope that's the right one, right? With your last name?
Yeah. So ecommercebusinesschool.com/Sharon. SHARON. And you can just pick, there's a menu of types of appointments. A 30-minute consult is perfect. Even if we don't go the full 30 minutes, my promise to you is you'll have a game plan before we get off the phone, and it'll fit with where you want to go and your next best steps, and you'll know exactly what to do. So that's my goal.
There you go.
To help as many people as possible get the value that they're looking for when they're here with us.
Awesome. And you do that with much heartfelt effort. You are a big, big piece of this community that our members love you because of that. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm not seeing, let's see if there are any. Okay, so thank you. I see Lisa or Kurt posted the link. So if I don't see any, I'm just looking at the page. I don't know about the group, but yeah, are you on the group one at all? I could open that one up. We just want to make sure if you have any questions, or like we say, check out Sharon. My situation is I actually do need to scoot because I have to be on this OBS thing in about 10 minutes or 15. So I'm meeting with one of our certified trainers. But thank you everyone for joining us here at the E-commerce Business School. Just if you have questions, do that, and then maybe tag Sharon, tag Lisa, tag me, tag one of our staff members, and then you also have the ability to get into a consult with Sharon. She'll help you sort things out, and she'll know what you want and help structure a path and a plan around that. So thank you everyone for being here. This is a lot of fun. Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks, Anne. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.